the share link. We're good.
Good evening, LCA family. Welcome to Tribal Council number 10, our first merge tribal with the Rose Quartz tribe. Dylan, take it away.
Hello everyone. Congrats again on merge. Is Aaron here to take a question? Question mark. Okay, let's start off with Aaron. Aaron, how does immunity feel? Do you feel that you needed it? And also, I want to ask on top of that, did this past mission you went on, was your second mission in a row? I have to ask, do you think that people could target you for this?
Start with immunity. It's always good to have immunity on the first vote of merge. Because you just never know how it's gonna go. Usually merge votes are really crazy, so it's definitely nice to have it. I was not expecting to, but I'm not gonna complain whatsoever. If anyone needs tips on this challenge, I do recommend a YouTube channel. Hit me up later. I literally watched it a while ago and was like, hey, I remember this. But as for being a target for the missions, oh, for sure. Because that's the only way you can get an advantage. And obviously, the more times you go, the more likely you have an advantage. So the more likely it's going to put a target on my back. So it's awesome to go on a mission. And it also sucks because you have to manage that threat level. And sometimes it's really hard, especially if you get voted in.
Thank you, Aaron. It's a nice, honest answer. So I'm gonna move over to John. John, you merged on Friday. Once again,
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Do you think that this weekend was enough time to bond and create relationships with each other, the people that you haven't been on a tribe with yet, or how was the weekend for you?
I mean, I think for the most part, people were able to get some bondage in more ways than one. Like I told some people, this challenge just wasn't mine. As we saw in the results, I mean, I lasted 7 seconds. I'm more used to playing with one stick and two balls instead of the other way around. But anyway, in terms of what people were able to do over the weekend, I mean, it seems like a lot of us were busy and had some things going on. So I mean, whether it was work, whether it was other activities going on, people having errands to run, anything like that. But people, for the most part, were able to find the time to talk to each other. Michael, is 7 seconds also different from the norm? Ask my wife. But
this is unhinged.
But anywho, yes.
Okay. Thank you, John. I will move on to Fred. So last round, you publicly sent your idol over to Aaron. Do you think that people could look at you as a threat for that? And on top of that, do you think that this could potentially paint you and Aaron as a duo to look out for in the future?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I've been pretty open about this to everyone. I was just causing chaos on the other side. I mean, I literally just sent it over and was like, have fun, kids. So, that's basically how that went down. I mean, I absolutely understand if it pins like us as a duo or paints a target on my back of any sort. But that was just me having fun in the game of Survivor. So, if anyone wants to think about that.
Honestly, love the honesty. Love the honesty.
Yeah.
Okay, I will move on over to Amber. Amber, we've seen plenty of advantages played this season. What are the odds we see an advantage played tonight? And when you cast your vote, does a potential advantage idol play sway how you vote tonight?
100%. There's something is going to be played tonight. Like, come on. Like, we're at a merge. We're at the first vote of the merge. So let's see. And honestly, I don't have anything to play. So, but I think there's going to be something at a point.
Okay. Thank you, Amber. Let's move on over to Evan. Is Evan here? Yes. You went on the very first mission and you haven't had the chance to go back yet. Do you fear that this could put you as a disadvantage in the game as the missions keep going on?
Disadvantage? I mean, I guess because I don't have an opportunity to get anything, but I also think it could be a disadvantage to have an advantage, especially, with an idle hunt. I think that leaves the opportunity for anybody to be a suspect, but with a mission where we can see who goes on it, it definitely can narrow it down in terms of who may have something. And I think it's pretty clear I don't have anything. So I'm kind of just going with it.
Okay, thank you, Evan. We're going to go over to Curtis. While we were on the topic about missions, I just want to know what's the tea with the missions? What has been shared with you? You've gone on quite a few missions. Have you shared with other people? What's going on with that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like the missions have been kind of weird. I wish I was better at like some of these challenges, honestly. Having gone on four of them, I have absolutely failed at basically every single one. Um, which feels really shitty. Like I didn't even complete two of them because I could not figure out the answers to them. Um, and I mean, even especially with the voting ones, I think just being strategic on like who we're voting in. You don't want somebody necessarily getting an advantage that you don't want to have one, I guess. As someone who's voted to both Sapphire and Ruby players, at this point, I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, that's a good answer, Curtis. Thank you. We're going to move over to Trisha. Trisha, I have to bring up the fact that there are 7 faves and 6 fans on the Merge Tribe. Do you think that there are any remnants of the OG tribe lines, or do you think the game is mixed up? What's your opinion on that?
I have not seen any evidence of any um OG lines alliances recently. That's just me though. Maybe maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my personal
So you would say that the game has evolved for you past
I
the
would say my personal game, like from like my standpoint, I don't see any like previous I don't know, previous allies coming forth to be like, hey, remember when we were on the same side? I guess I don't. It's very new. All the lines are very blurred. My game's completely different now from where it was at the beginning. So, I don't know if it's the same for everybody else, but it's just completely different than where it was at the beginning. I've been very open about this. This is the farthest I've ever made it in a Survivor game, so I'm very new to navigating like a post-merge game and floundering very much so. So I don't know. I'm just trying to survive. No pun intended in a Survivor game right now. So, uh,
Thank you,
but they're
Trisha.
fun.
We are going to move over to Kundi. I kind of have the same question for you, just from a fave perspective. What do you feel about the OG tribe lines? What's been going on for you? Has it evolved for you?
Feel like it's yeah, like it's like sorry. I feel like it's like a pretty open game. Like I don't know. I feel like everyone's chatting with everyone. I feel like the swap and we also had like the one world thing. Like we kind of all had a chance to talk with one another. Um, but yeah, like to touch on one thing that when I was listening, like apparently there's like like Amber thinks that there may be like an advantage play tonight. I mean, I don't think so. I think we all can agree tonight's pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna like jump around the bush. There's one person that's like inactive, and I feel like there's no point in like lying and denying like they're not even here tonight. So, I mean, yeah. But back to the regular point of I think that this game's open. I don't think tonight's vote has anything to do with tribes, like one tribe versus the other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. I'm going to move over to Morgan. So unfortunately, you did not submit for the challenge. I know, tragic. But I have to ask, in the individual part of the game, do you feel that this may put a target on your back, or do you just feel like people are just going to brush it off? What's your point of view on that?
Well, I mean, I'm not really sure how people are gonna take it. Honestly, like I did the best I could with the time that I had. I mean, I probably should have done it this weekend, like that goes without saying, but I thought I was gonna be able to get it done today, and then I was called like real life things, impromptu work meeting, and by the time I was like getting set up, hit 4 o'clock and the host just like couldn't let me continue. So I totally understand. I tried. My time management wasn't great. So, it is what it is. I hope people see that I am really trying to like play the game and I'm, doing my best to complete everything. It just didn't work out for me today, unfortunately.
We totally get it. No fault. No fault on
Yeah.
your end.
I really appreciate that because I felt bad.
We are going to move over to Michael. The last time you were all together like this was on the Garnet Tribe. Do you think, sorry, it was a pretty solid together vote, like it was a union vote for the most part. Do you predict that for tonight's vote?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
Any
go off a
explanation
little bit
or-
more on what Kundi said. Like, I think
Cool.
it's just to me, it's at least blatantly clear and obvious what needs to happen. But obviously, I'm one person. There's 13 people here, so I guess we'll see how it all shakes out. But that's just my humble opinion.
Okay. Let's see. Coach, let's go over to you. Now that you've gotten to go on a few missions, do you think that this could have any negative or positive effect on your game at all? And how do you navigate that?
Well, the first mission, as I mentioned, I kind of just rage quit. So, uh, with that, probably not. I was pretty open about my time that I did on the challenge this time around, which could put some type of target on my back because I had a high time on it. I didn't win the advantage, but if people see, hey, he did well in a fucking endurance comp, then that could smell disaster later on. I don't really expect to be sent on any more missions unless people try to get together and say, hey, let's make that target a little larger by continuing to send them. But if it happens, unless it's another endurance or some type of trivia challenge, I'm probably going to flop. So I think that answered your question.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. That was a pretty good answer. I will move over to Andy. Andy, I have to ask, do you think has there been any speculation as to when the missions may end, or if there will be an end? Like what's the tea with that?
A little. I think people felt that a lot of the advantages expired as merge happened. That came earlier, so I think people assume they're going to go through to the merge, but I think people are just going to keep going on until y'all cut us off.
Okay. And then also, what is your vote based on tonight,
Andy? Let's count the Zoom squares. Who's here? Who isn't?
Thank you, Andy. I think that was everyone. Does Austin, Jeremy, Gabe, do you have any questions? If not, I'll hand it over to Austin.
Alrighty. At this time, if anybody has any pre-vote advantages that they would like to play, now would be the time to do that. All right, I am going to go one by one on this one just because there are a lot of you. So when I say your name, please bump or send your vote to confessional. All right, Trisha. All right, Fred. Morgan. Michael. Kundi. John. Andy. Coach. Amber. Curtis. Evan. Where'd Evan go? Oh, Evan's the first one on my screen. That was where Dylan was earlier, so I got confused. Alrighty, I have the votes. At this time, if anybody has any post-vote advantages or hidden immunity idols that they would like to play, now would be the time to do so. All right. With that being said, I will read the votes. Once I read the votes, the decision is final. First vote, I'll have a few seconds to say their goodbyes and then be asked to leave the Zoom call and their chats. I'll read the votes. First vote, Fred. Julie. Second vote, Chase. Third vote, Chase. Fourth vote, Chase. Fifth vote, Chase. Sixth vote, Chase. Seventh vote, Chase. That's 6 votes, Chase. 1 vote, Fred. Eighth vote, and the 10th player voted out of Beach City, fans versus favorites, Chase. That is 7, and tonight that is enough. Chase did tell us in his confessional that it's been a really chaotic and hectic few days for him recently, and that's why he hasn't been around as much as he would like. He did let us know he wouldn't be here tonight. He did send us a pre-vote, all of that stuff. But we just want to say that we do, and Chase, if you watch this back, if you see this, Chase, if you watch this back, we love you. We've been trying to get you. I personally have been trying to get you on LCA for a few seasons now. So I was really happy when you reached out to me and you were like, "Hey, is your Survivor game looking for people right now?" And I was like, "Absolutely." So it was really exciting to get to have you on the season. And if you watch this back, you know how much I love you. And I wish scheduling and everything worked out better for you this time. Dylan.
Thank you so much, Chase. I just got to meet you in this game. You were great. Thank you for playing this game. It meant so much to me. And yeah.
All right. With that, we are down to the final 12. You will have a live challenge tomorrow. We are going to be skipping mission this round, no mission this round. So we will not have a mission between now and next tribal. Just a live challenge tomorrow night at 8 p.m. You will just want to be on Zoom. That's all. All
Bye
right.
now. Congrats on
Good night.